Alright, today I would like to share with you one book by Abdelwahab El-Affendi entitled Who Needs an Islamic State? This book is quite old, written in 2008, but first published in 1991. This is second printing, which is published by Silverfish book in Kuala Lumpur in 2008. So this is second edition, which is quite good because the preface is written by Wan Saiful Wanjan, one of the founder of the Ideas organization in Malaysia. He said that he read this book within one day, and he find that this book is very interesting and very important to solve in answer the question that is happening in the current political affair in Malaysia specifically. So this book is divided into 6 chapters, and there are the appendix at the end of the book. So the first chapter tackles the problem of the modern state, which is the one of the biggest challenge that we must encounter, that what make our state what we see now. Okay, because previously in history the state is not like what we see in today. Today we see that the state is divided into a nation state. But it is very completely different during the previous day in history, because in previous day history there is no nation state that like we see Middle East is divided into a lot of nations. Even Turkey is divided too, and so on. And the second chapter tackles tradition, the political authority in Islamic history. So the third chapter tackles with the modern debate on the Islamic State, which is quite heated debate until now, because as we all know that the Islamic State want to establish the Sharia in the state, but there are a lot of discussion on them, a lot of pro and cons. Some of the Islamic scholars say that the Islamic State is not obligatory, and some of them say it is obligatory, so on and so forth. The fifth chapter tackles the beyond resignation and fanaticism, the state for the Muslim. Some of the Islamic movement is quite fanatic without grasping a firm root and understanding of the Islamic tradition, like the Quran and Sunnah, Ijma, Qiyas, and a lot of discussion books written by the scholars of jurisprudence, fiqh, tasawwuf, and so on. And the sixth chapter is the conclusion for this book. So why this book is important? Because for me, this book is complementary, because previously I have read books tackle with the same topic, which is important too in the discourse of the Islamic State or modern state, like written by the Noah Feldman, the Fall and Rise of the Islamic State. Read another book by Olivier Roy entitled The Failure of Political Islam, and the third book by Sheikh Usama Said Al-Azhari, Al-Haq Al-Mubin, Liman Tala'aba Bid-Din. Okay, so the 3 books that I have mentioned tackle about Noah Feldman book tackle about the law of the Islamic State, how it's made, the history of the law, how it stress more on the law. But the Olivier Roy tackle about the sociology, more to sociology, and he said why the engineering student, the science background student very enthusiastic to join the Islamic movement, because they have no background and solid understanding of the Islam, and then they want to understand, so they enter and participate the Islamic movement to get understanding and overview of the Islam, but we need to very critical on this topic because Islamic tradition is not specifically you join the Islamic movement. I mean, meaning that we can understand the Islamic tradition when we accompanied for a long time with the scholars of Islam, scholars of Islamic tradition, because this is what Imam Al-Shafi'i said. أخي لن تنال العلم إلا بستة سأنبيك أن تفصيلها ببيان ذكاء وحرص واجتهاد وبلغة what else and other طول الزمان. So there are 6 criteria, prerequisite for students to learn the Islamic tradition. One of them is طول الزمان, long time to learn from the trainable scholar. So that's one of the discussion. So the third book, Al-Haqq Al-Mubin, this is why Shaykh Usama book is quite important, because Shaykh Usama traces back the source of the Islamic movement, and one of the most influential Islamic movement and important until today is the Ikhwan Muslimin. So Shaykh Usama do a comparison between the sources that Ikhwan Muslimin use in his methodology and his movement to move the social fabric of the humanity at the time, especially in the Middle East and now worldwide, in comparison with the Islamic tradition itself from the classic world. So this book just do a brief and overarching conclusion about the 3 books that I read before this. This is why this book is very important. So this book traces back. There are different methods used by the scholars or figures in the Islamic movement. Like Rashid Ghannouchi choose a completely different method, and then Hassan Al-Turabi used a very different method. Rashid Ghannouchi in Tunisia, Hassan Al-Turabi in the other place, and then Hassan Al-Banna, Al-Mawdudi, Sayyid Qutb. So there are a lot of different approaches used by them. So Abdelwahab El-Affendi suggests that we need to see the idea of the Islamic State in a very critical way, and we need to see it from a large and vast historical canvas. So that's why this book is very important for me, and very important for discourse on the formation of the modern state. Because of course today there are a lot of books. The most important maybe Wael Halak's recent book, not the Restating Orientalism, the Impossible State before that. So quite interesting. So I suggest you all to read this book to get further insight, so that we didn't busy and spend more time on the low level and low culture of the political fight, or political backbiting, the social media, and so on. So we must raise our discourse to a higher level, so that we can subsequently raise our community, the knowledge of our community, to a higher level as well. The Western country, the Japan, even in the middle, some part of the Middle East, what they do.